The light from the opening revealed a large cave. The entrance to the chamber was too high up for the small creature to reach.
In here we should be safe from her grasp,
the small creature said to its friend, both of them letting out a sigh of relief.
Hello there,
the small creature said as it watched its distorted reflection in the glass. A rather large piece of glass was sticking out of the foot-shaped rock. The creature didn't want to risk cutting itself on the glass shard. Other than its peculiar shape, the formation felt just like any other rock. The creature uttered as it put its own tiny foot against the rock to compare sizes. The wind had caused a twig to fall onto the cave floor.
where did you come from?
the small creature asked the twig. The small creature picked up the twig, thinking it might be of some use. The floor had collapsed into a seemingly endless abyss. The small creature peeked over the edge and began to shiver in fright.
I don't think I want to know what's down there.
The creature said to itself as it peered into the darkness. In the middle of the room, there was an odd formation of stalagmites. As the creature touched one of the rocks, it could feel heat emanating from it.
There is something odd about these pointy rocks.
The creature said to the alva as it gazed around the room. Vata are nervous beings that hide from others by blending in with their environment. They prefer to make their home below the ground, far away from other creatures. The Vata didn't seem to mind that the small creature stroked his beard with its hand.
Brother, I think we've been discovered.
The tall Vata whispered nervously to the short one.
Nonsense,
the short Vata said with a confident look.
just stick to the plan.
But the beast is not leaving.
The tall Vata whispered, making a befuddled face.
Why is the beast not leaving?
As long as our dear brother returns with something to get our belongings out of the hole, we just stick to the plan, all right?
The short Vata whispered, giving his brother a stern look.
Right.
The tall Vater responded loudly, straightening his back in attention. As they walked through the dark tunnels, the creature turned to the Alva.
I'm sorry you were taken from your home at the lake. I don't know if I could find my way back there,
It said with an apologetic look, but the Alva didn't seem saddened. In fact, she appeared to glow brighter than before, if only by a little. A thick root had violently burst through the wall.
It must take great determination to be able to push through something as hard as rock.
The creature said to itself, as it pondered if it could do the same. The root was sticky from the thick sap sipping through the small holes in the bark.
Hey you, Sticky Fingers, quit skulking in the shadows and move over to the smelter so I can see you. Oh, I see. A couple of new Sticky Fingers made their way into my mountain.
From atop a chest next to the smelter, a crouching Svartalv was glaring at the small creature and its new-found friend.
I shall make it simple enough for your tiny minds. Since this mine belongs to me now, I've decided not to give you anything at all. So go away. I've got enough sneaky Sticky Fingers to keep an eye on already.
The small creature looked at its friend before trying to talk to the Svartalv.
I apologize for carelessly wandering into your home, but we would never take something that someone else values so highly.
The Svartalv frowned.
Of course you wouldn't just decide to take a pleasant walk through the deepest parts of my mountain. Just because I've yet to find any treasure doesn't mean it doesn't belong to me.
The Svartalv reached into his pocket before throwing a small rock at the creature.
There, worthless piece of rock that you can have. There are plenty of those for you in these walls, Sticky Fingers.
A Svartalv is not entirely unlike a dwarf, although more sinister in appearance with crooked backs and skin as grey as ash. They live deep within the mountains, gathering precious metal and gems. A Svartalv is driven by greed and attracted to anything that shines, although the purpose for their obsession is unknown. The small creature didn't want to move any closer to the crouching Svartalv.
You two again. It's simple. Anything that shines belongs to me. Every precious gem inside this mountain. Don't think I won't notice you sneaking about, looking to steal what belongs to me.
The Svartalv looked away from the small creature for a moment, peering into the shadows.
Sticky Fingers, all of you. Don't you try to fool me. I know everything that goes on within this place. More importantly, I know where I put everything, so I will know if something is missing. Although, if you'd like to use my smelter, perhaps we could work something out. Pay up, or get lost. It's up to you.
A large smelter was burning hot in the middle of the old mine, spreading thick smoke throughout the cave.
What incredible heat!
The creature thought as it gasped for air. The small creature didn't want to move any closer to the hot smelter, being careful not to burn itself. In the far corner of the old mine, there stood what seemed to be a cast in the shape of a bell.
The cast is empty,
The creature said after taking a peek inside. The cast was far too heavy for the small creature to carry with it. Amongst the equipment stood a newly cut wooden pole, which looked to have been used to carry the heavy casts into place.
This stick looks to be able to hold quite a bit of weight.
The small creature stated. The creature decided to bring the wooden stick with it. On the ground, there were 4 beds, seemingly too short for someone of normal height.
They don't feel very comfortable.
The small creature stated as it walked across one of the beds.
I wonder who's been sleeping here.
Underneath one of the blankets, the small creature found an old stringless bow. In one of the cave walls, there was a pickaxe that looked to have been angrily struck deep into the rock.
Perhaps the owner gave up.
The small creature pondered. The pickaxe was firmly stuck in the cave wall. The pickaxe had been rocked loose by the earthquake.
How convenient. I don't think we would have been able to pull it out by ourselves.
The creature stated. The earthquake had rocked the pickaxe loose, allowing the creature to pick it up. A wide chasm had split the chamber floor in 2.
We sure are lucky there is a bridge over there.
The small creature said to the Alva, feeling at ease. The creature was too afraid to approach the ominous chasm. An unlit torch was mounted on the wall.
This damp place could use some light.
The creature thought as it watched the torch from afar. The torch had been securely fastened to the wall.
Do you think we could climb down there?
The creature asked the Alva, who responded by giving it a disapproving look. The small creature pushed with all its might, but was unable to move the boulder even an inch. The chasm continued through the large opening in the wall.
If we fell down there, we might never be able to get back up again,
The creature said, reminding itself not to get too adventurous. The creature was too afraid to approach the ominous chasm. A hedgehog was peeking out from its den, still squinting after being awoken from its sleep.
Hello?
The small creature said nervously. The hedgehog took no notice of the greeting, but the creature could hear a faint growl coming from its stomach.
I guess it's hungry.
The newly awoken hedgehog gave off an irritated grunt when the small creature approached it. A hand, seemingly made out of stone, had at some point ended up halfway buried in the cave floor. The large hand felt cold, its surface coarse like stone. The creature stared at the large hand for quite some time.
I wonder, does this formation have something to do with the one I saw before?
Deep within the mountain, far away from any light of day, the gruff Roo lives by herself. Miners have been known to catch a glimpse of her in the corner of their eye, some claiming that she is showing them the location of large ore veins, others that she is trying to get them to follow her into the tunnels. Deep within the mountain, far away from any light of day, the gruff Roo lives by herself. Miners have been known to catch a glimpse of her in the corner of their eye, some claiming that she is showing them the location of large ore veins, others that she is trying to get them to follow her into the tunnels. If one is to venture into her domain, be mindful of making noise. If disturbed, she is said to bring the perpetrator to the deepest place within the mountain, where the unlucky being slowly turns into stone. The creature was afraid to disturb the gruff Roo, who looked to be engulfed in her thoughts.
Noise, always hammering, striking the walls, loud, foul beings, strike, it is not theirs to take.
The gruff Roo mumbled to herself, seemingly not noticing the small creature next to her.
Unforgivable! Strike, the rock falls, a spell, hide it, yes. They won't leave. Why? They can't see where to strike. This won't do. My love.
For a brief moment, the gruff, bruised voice became soft.
Soon he will arrive. No, for him to see me like this, my appearance unsightly, their fault. Strike, 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 then silence. Pristine. I can't wait to leave these caves behind us. They're a bit creepy, aren't they? Do you know of a place on the outside that could help you get your wings to grow?
The creature asked. The Alva shrugged her shoulders, looking back at it with big eyes.
Oh, well, I'm sure we'll find someone that can tell us what to do.
The creature responded in an unsteady voice. A stalagmite stood alone in the corner of the chamber. The creature could feel a trembling jolt going through the rock as it touched it.
That peculiar-looking stone over there looks misplaced.
The small creature said with a suspicious look. The carvings inscribed on the wall formed a number of strange shapes and symbols.
What do you think they mean?
The small creature asked the Alva as it tried to make out the shapes of the mysterious carvings. When the small creature moved its hand across the carvings on the wall, they gave off a faint, almost magical warmth. Robust roots and vines were blocking the small creature's path. The vines were too thick for the creature to snap with its bare hands.
If only my claws were sharp and pointy,
the creature said, looking down at its dainty little hands. Vata was hiding in a dark corner of the chamber, shaking wildly. The fat Vata cowered in fear as the creature reached out with its hand.
Who goes there?
The fat Vata wailed as confidently as he could.
Who are you?
I don't know,
the small creature said with a troubled brow.
What do you mean you don't know?
The fat Vata said as his fear turned to curiosity.
I only recently found myself in this world. I don't know where I belong,
the creature stated sadly.
That's odd,
the fat Vata said before turning silent, wondering if that was even possible. After a while, the fat Vata seemed to have regained his focus.
Enough of your petty problems. Mine are far more severe, and they just keep adding up. There I was, playing my flute as I was searching this wretched mountain after something to retrieve my and my brother's belongings with, when she came running towards me. My music must not have been to her liking, I suppose,
the fat Vata said, looking puzzled as he scratched his head.
If she sees me again, I don't know what she will do to me.
The fat Vater's eyes slowly filled with fear.
Could you help me sneak past her? You can have my flute, and I'm sure my kin will reward you greatly.
I suppose I could.
The small creature responded, even though it was just as afraid as the fat Vater was.